It's time for water. Water. Yeah. I'm talking about water. Do you in my voice this time? Hey, serious delirious though, I am talking about water right now, and I made a little example right here, but I'm gonna do it piece by piece right here. So let me kick it off with a little, a side swipe kick to throw it into motion. We get our color, and then we get our brush stroke. We slap that onion skin, make that new layer, and put down our first drop. That's the side swipe kick right there. So you've probably seen water if you are a person, and not only have you seen it, but you've seen it slosh. And what does it look like when that happens? Well, a whole multitude of things. At least six things for sure, but I'm gonna talk about probably 3. So let me start. In fact, I don't even want it to be falling. That's gonna take too long. So I'm just gonna, well, okay, all right. I'll make it fall a little bit. Not even that much. In fact, this is so trivial. This is so boring. Let's make a pipe, and the water is coming out of the pipe, right here. Okay, easy. Should lock off my little bucket layer. There we go. That's good. Okay, so let's make some water come out of here. There. Looks good to me. That's our water layer. Layer 3. So, what is this watery stuff anyway? And how does it behave? Well, you can apply this tutorial to a whole long list of things. Blood and acid and anything else, tree sap, lava if that's flowing, anything really, doesn't even matter. But the point is that you understand fluid dynamics and how water behaves when it hits stuff. So I'm gonna animate some water. In my example, I animated something that, now that I look at it, seems a little bit thicker than water. Because at the end it settles pretty quickly. Don't even worry about it though. We'll get there. So say I've got a piece of water. A lot of things are going to happen to it. First of all, it's going to be falling, and it's going to be retaining its shape. Kind of. So, okay, you know about surface tension, right? Like you've got a drop of water, or a bucket worth of water. What does it have surface tension? It's the stuff, I can't draw a circle, I just tried like 6 times. It's the stuff where you have water in a sink or anything, and you put a pin onto the surface and it won't sink. Why not? Well, because of surface tension. So you put this here, the water will not let the pin go through. No. The water will get tense on the surface and it won't break. Not yet, at least. Not unless the pin is heavy enough. It'll just sit there because of surface tension between all of these. Why is it there? Something to do with the water molecule. You know, you got your H and your 2 O's, 2 parts, I mean your 2 H's and your 1 O. You've got them and they hold on for some reason. Don't ask me, but they do. And so because of that, your drops in the air tend to want to be circles. So keep that in mind as you animate. They try and hold themselves together. Water does not like to be a square in the air. It just won't have it. It'll round off those corners and it'll become a circle. When you put water in 0G, what happens to it? It turns into a circle because there's no gravity to pull it and make it hit ground and make it sploosh all over the place because space there's no gravity. Well, in the ISS where they do it, there's gravity, but they're falling all the time. So you know what happens to that water? It turns into these, and they just float there because of the surface tension. So I'm gonna keep that in mind when I animate. So let's do just one little drop coming out of this thing. Starts off like this. Frame number 1. Frame 2. Well, it's gonna be pulled down by the gravity on our planet, and then it's gonna be falling. And not even doing that. No. Okay. Why is that there, huh? It shouldn't be. I don't know. I don't know how this water was coming out of the pipe. No, not like that. There. That looks good. Okay, so, next frame. This main piece of water here is gonna keep its shape. Okay, but this piece of water here, this collection of water here, is holding on to the pipe because it was setting on the inside here and it was level in there, but then it spilled out. So, whoa, kill it at the source. We have to imagine that this piece was still holding on to the bit there. So two things were going on. This part right there, let me get some notes. This part was holding on to the bottom of the pipe, but this part of this big chunk was holding on to this guy, and eventually it had to make a choice of what it was holding on to more strongly, and apparently it was the pipe, just because that's the way I drew it. So that's the way it's going to get animated. So we got a little breakage here, but water doesn't just break like this all straight, like it tries to hold on for as long as possible because of that surface tension. It holds on to its brothers, and then here it's trying to, it's staying stuck just like that. Well, something like that. Yeah. So the frame, here's how the frames go. It's like this, and then it's like this. This is when water breaks off from one another. And then, so here we go. There was surface tension here, okay? And then the surface tension split, and now it's just here. What's gonna happen next? And this is important to keep in mind. It's gonna do some of this action. You're gonna get these rippling things. Why? Because water doesn't like to be pointy. Just like it doesn't like to be a square in the air, it also doesn't like to be a point, like that shape, a mountain with curvy edges. So these are going to snap back together. It's going to be pulling this point here this way, and when it does that, it creates an inverted point on the outside of the water as the surface tension rips it back together, and then the next frame, well, the next keyframe, I suppose, the next pose of the water, it'll be back to circular. So that is how you go from, I don't know, to, you get this. You start with that guy, and then you go to this guy, and then these, and then those, and then they're on drops. All right, that's good little, keep that in the memory. So now we know precisely what I'm going to draw next. It's that second shape. Just like that. And it usually leaves a little bit behind from where it broke off. Yeah. And then this piece. Okay, so take a look. This breaking point is causing some, well, not causing it, but kind of causing it. So, alright, okay. The water, this bit right here, it wanted to go down because gravity, but then it got pulled at the top right here. So then it's gonna start spinning. It has to, like this way. Maybe not that much. Like that. How do I explain that? It broke, right? And when it breaks, it pushes, but it's getting pushed on the top from the left. Like, you know, right? When this happens, this little breaking point right here, there's energy that goes into the drop. Like, it pushes some back into the drop. So when it snapped, and it's snapping on its left side, some of that stuff getting pushed back in is going into the right side from the top. And when you push something on the top to the right, it spins clockwise. Same as bottom on the left, it'll go clockwise. So this thing is going to start having some clockwise rotation as it falls. And keep in mind my spacing over the course of this whole droplet's life. It's there, and then it's there, and then it's there, and now it should be more like that. So let me move it down. You know, keep that easing going as it speeds up, as it gets towards the ground. But also, don't forget that it has to keep moving to the right from where it started. And then the impact frame. Alright. Water. So a few things are going on. This water is trying to stay circular. It's also spinning. So like here, inside of it, there's turmoil where the water is all sloshing like this. And that's going to have a bit of an effect when it hits the ground, because the stuff that's up here is going to still be going that way even when it's hitting the ground. Next thing that's happening is the water is moving down, and then it's getting stopped by the inside of this bucket. And when that happens, it has to go somewhere. And so it's going to pick the easiest direction to go in, which in this case, because the whole drop is moving to the right, is going to be to the right, just like this. So it's going to spread out. And let me put this water layer under my bucket layer. So more is going to go off to the left than off to the right. But there was still all that turmoil. So I'm going to throw a little drop that way. And then that drop is going to follow that clockwise direction until it hits the ground. Okay. Good. Now, oh boy, you know about billowing, right? That whole pumping stuff up until it hits a breaking point and then spiraling back into itself. We're going to do some of that with our water. Because think about it like this. The stuff that hits the ground, the part of the water down here that's hitting the ground, is moving faster than the stuff up here that is just being pulled by the stuff on the bottom. So you get billowing when stuff that's attached to other stuff moves quicker than parts of itself. Like, the bottom has to spread out more quickly than the top because the bottom has nowhere to go. It's like, I don't know, you pour water onto a plate and it's gonna fill the whole plate pretty quickly, and then it'll start to spill over the edges. But first it fills the bottom of the plate. So the next frame, the top won't go as far as the bottom will, like that. Alright, and now you can start to treat the top like it's a particle of its own. Almost even to where I just might animate it separate, like that. Not like that. Like that. And then there's that tail. And it might be moving so much slower than the bottom, in fact, that it just breaks off. Okay, and then that looks fine. And don't animate too much stuff hitting the bottom until you've done every particle by itself, because this might be covered up by water at this point. You don't know what's going to happen to the rest of it. So don't even worry about it yet. Okay. That looks good. Now the bottom stuff. So we'll keep that billowing going, and then here's that bottom bit spreading out, and maybe even starting to do a little, like a double billow. Like some of it's getting, like this bottom part is even moving faster than this middle part here. So perhaps it's not able to keep up with itself. And now, see, here's that break point. It was doing pose number 2. And now it's time to do pose number 3 of when water breaks. Yeah, that looks good. No, that doesn't. That doesn't look good. I lied to you. Because I'm keeping a consistency. Like, see the curvature here? It's like this. Next it'll be like this. Then it'll be like this. Well, then it has to go like that. So 1, 2, 3. Now it's almost like that. But it can't be because it just broke here. So it has to be further. Like that. Good with me. Okay, and then the ground stuff is still moving really fast. And not really getting pulled too far from where it started. Almost like a reversed wave. So now let's do that piece. Right there. Yeah. No. No. What is happening with it? It's doing that, and then it's like it's getting dragged by the stuff underneath it. Good. And the bottom. Okay. I think this is a little too low. So maybe do that. Shave the bottom. Shave the top. Okay. How is this looking? Not bad. Not even awful. Okay, next. What is going on with this guy here? This is a small example. I'm making it easy. So we had some stuff spinning, so this is gonna fly off like that. And then land there. Okay, so now when this hits, when this front part touches the ground, this is kind of like the back part now. That was where this was. So it gets sunk in, and then there's almost nothing here. Let's do this side right now. Oh, that's not right. It should be more like that, I think. No, something's not right. What I'm trying to do, like, is this chunk right here. Like, this half of it has to go somewhere, and then the other half went into this. So I guess that'll be the piece, and then this will be the interior. Yeah, I'll believe that. And then here's the top part. And then here's that interior swinging up. Kind of getting strung. There are no strings on me. Some people consider me a water drop. I call myself a goop. It's gonna spin more like this, less. And then this will stay on the ground. Okay, and then this, I don't know, that's too big. The whole thing is too big. That's better. And then it's gonna hit the wall. right about, not yet. Yeah, it's not quite made contact yet. On the bottom it has. And here we go. Sloshing time. Now we have a sideways version of the first impact frame, where now there's momentum going this way, and all that energy gets pushed up and down, and less up than down because gravity will take its favor. So like that. And then this will turn into its own particle and just go up and then go down. And we're done. Slam, come on and slam. Everybody, space jam, water jam, water jam. Uh-oh. Got a little bit of resizing. Don't even worry about it. The water could be spinning towards the camera. You just don't even know. Alright, and then the bottom piece is going to try and circularize as it goes towards the ground, and then it'll... Oh, also something water does. Not only does it stay circular, but it latches onto things. Not just itself. Like if these two were right here, you know, obviously they would suck together and then they would turn into one big drop. But also, if there's water just sat on there, I mean, it goes down and then it molds to whatever it's on. And if it's on the wall, it'll do the same thing. Except it's a little bit different on the wall because then gravity isn't equal, so it does something more like that. But then if it starts to move, then the stuff that's stuck on can't keep up with it, so it does something more like that. Okay, there. And then this part is gonna even out and just ease to flat. Yeah. And while this is just one example of a water drop, you can apply this to so many. You know, large ones, medium-sized ones, bitty ones, whatever you want. And then, what are you doing right now, Andrew? Oh, you stop it. I can't talk about everything I do. It would take far too long. No, I want to know. Jeez, man. Get off my case. Okay, I'm just animating. You know that waving motion thing that I can't stop mentioning? All it really is just a line where you send a ripple down it, and this ripple eventually will get to here, and then lastly it'll be here. Well, that happens all the time in water. That is what waves in the ocean are. It's where, like, the leader and the follower move down a line like this, like, here's your thing, and then after a thing starts to form, a wave, and then it goes down it, and it just keeps going and going until eventually it settles, and then it's nothing. Like that. Except you wouldn't have the back of it move over time. There. It's a little ripple in the thing. You know, it's just a different way to look at the waving motion. So that happens when water is settling. You know, turning into a flat surface. How's this looking? How's this looking? Not bad. Let me finish up this first drop. Okay, so what's going on with this front part? These two are going to merge together. And then one's going to get left behind. And then those are going to get put to the ground. Like that. And then it's going to... This thing is going to flatten out and send its energy in both directions, pushing a little bit into this wave, and then a little bit back towards the original spot where it hit. This little drop right here is gonna hit so fast and so hard that it's gonna shoot some up. Not too much, but enough to be noticeable. Expand at an even rate, don't get too fast too quick. Then I'll just do these little particles like anything else. Go watch the blood video, and those will make sense. And then this one's gonna go almost straight up. Oh, that's kind of fast. It doesn't even matter. You know, I just don't care about it. I just don't care. Let me fill these in. And then I'll go work on this first piece. I think I may have actually gotten a little bit too far into all of this because I haven't even done the first piece yet. So, I mean the second piece. This one is spinning just as well because what it's done is it's gotten ripped off, and while the bottom one gets pushed right on the top, this one gets pushed left on the bottom. So it's also going to be spinning clockwise. It's like one big figure eight where it goes like that and then it goes like that. Well, actually that's not right. It goes like that and then it goes like that. So to animate it, I'll just, I'll look at that bump and I'll draw that bump on this part of it here, and then on this next piece we'll have that little indent from, right there, and then it'll move down with gravity at hopefully a similar rate to the first piece. Maybe not quite as fast because it's almost getting pushed up a little bit from where it broke, while this one is getting pushed down. So a little bit slower. And it was also stuck on the pipe, so it won't be quite as quick to go down. And now it's getting spherical again. Sphericalizing. Circularizing. Because this is a 2D water sim. Somebody on the stream said, just run a water simulation and then rotoscope it. And that'd be a great way to make it look perfect. But would it look hand animated? I mean, would it? No. It would not. It would look unreal. Or hyper-real. And neither of those are good. So just learn how to do it like this. Unless you're doing 3D water interactions in your Flash animations, then maybe run a water sim and rotoscope it. Alright, the frame of impact. It's like we're reliving the first splash. That's not right. That's too fast. There seems good. No, that doesn't. How about that? Yeah, but like some is still imparting itself. See how I've got a little bump in the middle there? Like maybe that's the top part here that just hasn't fully made it to the ground yet. The spacing could be a little bit more. And then we got, just like before, same thing. Water, water, water. You gotta drink this stuff to stay alive. I think. I mean, I'm like sort of sure. I don't know for positive. But I'd like to believe so. That I know for positive, not that you have to drink it to stay alive. That's up to you. Okay, now this piece is gonna keep on spinning and then start to get absorbed into the ground. And it's gonna be going on, it's more to the right than it is to the left because it was moving right. And also it was spinning clockwise I mean, it was spinning counterclockwise, sorry. So the bottom is going to the right and the top is going to the left. So when the bottom hits first, that means it'll go more to the right more quickly, and the top will get thrown over here along with that little tail that was on it, just like that. And it should be more to the right. Good, good. And then there's that bump, and then there's the tail, and then here's that bump, and then here is the spread. The cheese platter. Alright, let's draw my fill lines. And then last we'll do strings, and then I'll show you the thing I animated earlier. And I'll call it a water tutorial. Perhaps you were actually in the stream when I animated that. Oh, the stream. Water. Oh. Is this just not good? I would hope so. Alright, we fill our fills. We fill our drops. There are strings on me. Almost done, you guys. I swear to promise. Hey, you should try some water yourself. You know what somebody did after I put out my fire tutorial? They sent me an FLA, or a SWF, of them trying out the fire. Hey, if you're watching this, try out some water. Send me the SWF. I'll watch it. I'll put it in the next tutorial. I don't have the fire one prepared right now, but in Fire 102, you better bet that I'm gonna have all those fire SWFs ready to show. Unless, of course, you don't want me to, you know. Oh, this piece, that's right. The first one I animated. I gotta fill them up. It's cool! It's cool when you show me, and I can see, even if it didn't help you, show me your style. You know? Whatever, I like to learn. Is that good? That should be good. Okay. And there's never water nowhere, because water isn't like other stuff. Soap, whatever. It doesn't break apart. It's always connected, even if by a tiny little film. Unless there's like none of it, like truly none, like only enough to put a few drops down, then it will break apart. Okay, flatten that out, bulge that out, and then when this wave hits the wall, it'll slosh a tiny bit, but not insane amounts, because it's so thin, it doesn't have very much energy. Okay, now this thing is making its way over here, and then that one there. And then it's just a matter of leveling it out. I mean, this isn't even really a water tutorial anymore. This is just a... Well, I guess it's water. It's a spreading out tutorial. Okay, this piece. Final piece. It's gonna go up, you know, because this thing was going like that, and then it's spread out. And then it's gonna billow. I'm using that word so multi-purposefully. Probably doesn't mean what I think it means. But that's what I'm gonna call it. Oh, that's cool. Geez, that could be like a logo. It kind of looks like the Blender logo. Oh. What happens? It shouldn't go down that fast. That's not right. It should keep going up for a ways, and then maintain its tail. I wonder how long I've been recording. 62,000 frames at 30. I don't know what that is. Is that 30 minutes? Like 30... No. 30 frames a second is 1800 frames a minute. Right. So 63,000 divided by 1800. That's 36 minutes? I don't know. I can't do that kind of math while I'm animating. I bet the scrubber on this one, it's right there right now. That's where the YouTube scrubber is. Okay. That's gonna slosh into the other one and then put a big bulge there and then put some on the wall. And then the wall stuff is gonna go up and then spread out and then come down to spread on the ground like that. And then this bulge right there is gonna go a little bit faster than that first bulge and then meet up with the rest of it right about there. And that's water. And then this stuff over here doesn't just go away. It flattens. And if you want, you can use shape tweens for this last part because it is so easy to use a shape tween in that context. Did I go ahead and animate this? Yeah, I did. Incorrectly at that. There we go. And then there. Oh, you guys, do I even have to make it settle? Is it even worth it? I didn't even put enough frames to make it settle. I'll do it. What I'm doing is I'm finding the bumps and then I'm just pushing them in the direction they were going to keep it consistent and make it look nice as it slows to a stop. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Water. What's the point? Water tutorial. Go watch Geo's tutorial. He did a great job. I don't do annotations, but I'm going to annotate now. This is Geo's goop tutorial. Hey, he's a cool guy. Well, I don't know that, but he sounds cool. And I really liked his video, where he had demonstrations already animated. Well, I guess I do, but I haven't shown it yet. And he talks about goop and viscosity and whatnot. And it's nice. It was a long time ago, but it's so relevant still. Okay, I think this is done. I think I'm going to call it after this. I'm going to make a straight line and then it'll be it. And those bumps will just get pushed down into the water as the water level rises ever so slightly. Oh. And then it'll be flat, and then I'll do that one particle over there, and then call it. A little bit, tiny bit still. There, and then there. Alright, water. Last particle, last particle. No, I lied. I forgot the strings. Okay, guys, the strings are, you know, if you have a bunch of drops like this next to each other, they're gonna look like that. They're not gonna look like that because water doesn't do that. I think there is like liquid that does that, where the viscosity makes it so there's really not much hold together, but water and other things that you're probably gonna be animating, they do stuff like that. They hold together. Watch my blood video. I talk about it a lot. You know, like instead of just having a big gap here, they will string together a thing there. So I put some strings all over the place, and it gives a nice effect. I wanted to fill that logo in so bad. So like here, string, and then it'll break up. And turn to nothing. Well, not turn to nothing, but turn into part of the mass. And then this one will go there, and that one there, and yeah. Crazy. It was a rampant. I mean, it was all over the place. You know what? I'm gonna move past it. Let me finish this water with some more strings. Like right here, string there. And then it breaks apart. Because it gets pulled in every which way faster than it can handle. And then that piece of stringage goes in the air and falls to the ground. And it might make a little splash of its own, right, like that. And then that bit of particleage goes down, and that one as well. Strings. And then there's not really anything that goes up. Oh, perfect. Check this out, check this out. Perhaps this water is going to hold together. Oh. Because it's so little, it's got so much tension that it might just do that. You know, like you've seen slow motion videos of water droplets landing in water. Mythbusters, the slow-mo guys. And you get those little floops like that. I'm talking about this thing. You know, you've got a cup full of water and you drop a drop into it. What happens? It does that. Okay. Let me put in my doubles, and then this FLA will go in the description. I don't know why I do the doubles I do. I don't know why. I don't know. Don't worry about it. It might even be bad doubling, but here we go. That was what I animated. Kinda iffy. There's not a lot left over. In fact, I think I'm gonna fix that real fast. Right here, when this first one hits, it leaves like nothing behind, and that's not entirely correct. So like, I'm gonna put a little bit like this, kinda hanging around. No, but that's not right. Okay. It was crinkling and it wouldn't stop. I'm gonna just do something like that, and then finish this off by saying that it just goes into there. Done. Alright, that's my water tutorial. I'm fine with that. Yeah, I like that. Check it out. Check it out, Thursday. Water drop, rumble. We got droplets. We got strings. We got particles. We got flow. We got settling. Yeah. Okay. That's all you need to know for watching me make one. Now let's talk about a more complex example of water. So you've got it in your cup. Look at that. As the cup turns, what happens to the water? Oh, it falls. And then it pours out. And it was pointed out to me that perhaps the water should have stayed more up into here. And they were probably right. Because it's getting pushed so fast. This isn't really water, honestly. It's kind of more like syrup mixed with water, or a water with like a handful of cornstarch in it, because it's kind of thick. It throws, and it has, you know, it tugs from the bottom outward. Anyway, I'm not gonna focus on that right now. We're just gonna point out some things that happen. First of all, when it hits, there's so much of it. A lot goes out here, a lot goes up here, and then more keeps getting flushed down into it. And now, the stuff that was here, you know, right here, it's going so fast that it rips away. And then see, here's that shape, those points, and then it'll get pulled into it, you know, and it's kind of hard to tell because there's so much going on. And then up here, oh, there's so many things in this water. I'll put this one definitely in the description so you can take a look. So let's just follow one piece all the way through and through. Let's follow this chunk here. Where does it go next? Here, and then it's here, like it's in there. It's kind of hard to, no, what am I saying? I'm a fly fool. It's there. It's kind of getting held on and pushed back up, but then it's there, and then it's there, and now it's here. Oh, what's it doing? Oh, it's getting pushed out to the sides. So now it's here, and a little bit got pumped into there, but now it's riding the wall up, going up it all the way to the top, and then gravity takes over as it falls back down and joins the masses. I mean, you just gotta animate them piece by piece, and then as they're about to hit the ground, stop animating for a while, go back, do the rest, and then go back again and finish them up as they merge with the crowd. When these four are gonna hit the bunch, they just impact one by one. Now when this one impacts, it kind of just turns into part of it and gets sort of pumped up into here, and you know, it creates part of this wave here. This one, it pumps into it. It's all just, it's voluminous, not volumetric. It's voluminous, I think is the actual word. And they all just contribute to the overall water level. And then this one, same thing, it just goes into there and then goes up the wall. And then as these little bumps find their places, you know, I just do what I do. I animate them the way they're moving as a wave along the surface until eventually they settle out and become flat parts of the whole thing. See that? We go from really bumpy to nothing. All the particles are just like regular particles. They jump and then they go down. When this thing comes over here, so first it's a sphere, then it latches onto the ground and it's kind of this half a pill, and then it flattens out as gravity starts to push the top down into it, and then it hits the wall. And when it hits the wall, it's got all this energy still going somewhere. So it goes up into this droplet, and these, which, you guessed it, some break off and some hold on to the wall. Right there. I guess I botched that up a little bit. Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, it's so fine. Let's look at some of these strings. Check this one out. Right here, this guy. Okay, a lot going on with this one. It's doing a little bit of waving motion itself. Like, this is the leader right here, and he's going this way, so the follower is coming back around to get pulled by him. But then after they separate, they just kind of have their own independent trajectories, so you don't really have to worry about that waving motion after the fact. But as they're breaking, watch this one right here. It kind of they pull on one another until eventually they're just particles. And then that happens with all of the strings that are in it. Yeah. And then whatever, you just as stuff happens, go and figure out what goes on with it, piece by piece, not all at once. You'd be silly to try and animate this whole thing frame by frame without going back. Yeah. So, this was a water talkabout. It was Water 101, Water and Fluid 102 coming soon, with now shading and bubbles and dynamic flows and you know, stuff like attraction and repulsion and flotation. Everything that you need. Shading mostly is what the next fluid video is going to be about. Where to put your highlights. Looking at what light looks like when it goes through water. Other than that, thank you for watching. I'm going to put the demo that I animated live first in the description, and then I'm going to put the one that I looked at after the fact second. Okay? Bye! This is FlashBepler.